What if I told you one country has ancient castles, giant cliffs, mysterious lakes, cities older than most civilizations, and coastlines where dinosaurs once walked? This is the United Kingdom like you've never seen before. Today we're exploring Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland to uncover the most unbelievable places in the UK. And trust me, some of these places don't even look real. If you love discovering incredible places around the world, subscribe now and join the adventure. Let's begin. The United Kingdom is made up of 4 nations: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Each has its own traditions, accents, culture, and identity. Some even have their own languages and banknotes. No matter where you are in the UK, you are never far from the sea. That's why coastlines, fishing, storms, and maritime history are deeply connected to life here. From giant mountains and peaceful lakes to medieval cities and dramatic cliffs, every region tells a different story. But our journey starts in one of the most magical places in Scotland. The Isle of Skye feels like another world. Massive mountains rise above the sea while waterfalls cut through green valleys and fog drifts across the cliffs. One of Skye's most famous landmarks is the Old Man of Storr, a giant rock formation standing high above the landscape. Nearby, the fairy pools flow with crystal-clear blue water through black volcanic rock. The island is filled with ancient castles, rugged coastlines, and breathtaking scenery that changes every hour with the weather. Skye is not just beautiful, it feels timeless. But after Scotland's wild landscapes, we head to one of the most famous cities on Earth. London is where history and the future exist side by side. Ancient landmarks stand beside modern skyscrapers, creating one of the most recognizable skylines in the world. Tower Bridge, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and the River Thames are just a few of the city's iconic sights. London is also one of the most diverse cities on Earth, with hundreds of languages spoken across the capital. The Underground, opened in 1863, became the world's first subway system. And despite its size and energy, London still offers peaceful escapes through parks like Hyde Park and Regent's Park. But while London was built by humans, our next location was shaped by nature itself. On the coast of Northern Ireland lies one of the most unusual natural formations on Earth. Giant's Causeway is made up of around 40,000 basalt columns created by volcanic activity millions of years ago. Most of the stones formed into near-perfect hexagonal shapes. According to Irish legend, the pathway was built by a giant crossing the sea to Scotland. Today, waves from the Atlantic continue crashing against the rocks as visitors walk across this extraordinary landscape. But the UK also hides mysteries far older than this. And our next stop remains one of humanity's greatest unanswered questions. Stonehenge has stood on the English countryside for more than 5,000 years. Huge stone blocks, some weighing over 20 tons, were transported from distant regions without modern machinery. Many researchers believe Stonehenge was connected to astronomy because the monument aligns with the sunrise during the summer solstice. Others believe it had spiritual or ceremonial purposes. Even today, nobody fully understands how or why it was built. And that mystery continues to attract millions of visitors every year. But another mystery waits deep in the Scottish Highlands. Loch Ness stretches through the Scottish Highlands, surrounded by forests and mountains. The lake is over 20 miles long and reaches depths of more than 700 feet. For decades, people have searched these dark waters for the legendary Loch Ness monster, known as Nessie. While no evidence has confirmed the creature's existence, the mystery remains famous around the world. But beyond the legend, Loch Ness is one of Scotland's most beautiful landscapes. Ancient castle ruins rise beside the water, while mist drifts across the hills. Whether or not the monster exists, this place feels unforgettable. But now we leave behind legends and head toward one of England's most peaceful places. In northern England lies the Lake District, a region filled with mountains, forests, valleys, and lakes shaped by glaciers thousands of years ago. The beauty of this landscape inspired famous poet William Wordsworth and continues attracting millions of visitors today. People come here to hike through the hills, sail across quiet lakes, and experience nature at its purest. Every season transforms the scenery. In autumn, forests glow orange and gold. In winter, snow covers the mountain peaks. And in summer, the lakes reflect the sky like mirrors. But Scotland still has another landscape waiting for us. And this one feels truly cinematic. Glencoe is one of the most dramatic valleys in Scotland. Towering mountains rise above deep green landscapes carved by ancient glaciers. The valley is also known for one of the darkest moments in Scottish history, the Glencoe Massacre of 1692. Today, waterfalls flow down the cliffs while mist covers the peaks, creating one of the most breathtaking views in the country. Glencoe feels wild, powerful, and unforgettable. But next, we visit a place that looks straight out of a fantasy movie. Curving across the Scottish Highlands, the Glenfinnan Viaduct became world-famous through the Harry Potter films. The railway stretches across 21 massive arches surrounded by mountains and lakes. Completed in 1901, it remains one of the greatest engineering achievements in Scotland. When the train crosses the viaduct through the misty highlands, the scene feels almost unreal. And if you think Scotland is impressive so far, wait until you see its most photographed castle. Alien Donan Castle stands on a small island where three lochs meet in the Scottish Highlands. Connected to the mainland by a stone bridge, the castle has become one of the most iconic landmarks in Scotland. Originally built in the 13th century, it defended the region against Viking attacks. Today, surrounded by mountains and water, it looks like something from another century. At sunrise and sunset, the reflections across the loch create one of the most beautiful scenes in the entire country. But after exploring Scotland's castles and mountains, we now travel south into Wales, where ancient history meets incredible natural beauty. Wales is one of the most underrated parts of the United Kingdom. But hidden inside this country are mountains, medieval fortresses, dramatic coastlines, and landscapes that feel untouched by time. Our first stop is Snowdonia, also known today as Eryri National Park. This region is filled with rugged mountains, crystal-clear lakes, forests, and valleys shaped over millions of years. At the center rises Mount Snowdon, the highest mountain in Wales. Thousands of hikers climb to the summit every year to witness panoramic views stretching across the countryside and coastline. The weather changes constantly here. One moment, the peaks are covered in sunlight. The next, thick clouds roll across the mountains. That unpredictability makes the landscape feel alive. But Wales is also famous for its castles. And few are more impressive than Causeway Castle. Built in the 13th century by King Edward I, the fortress rises above the town with 8 massive towers surrounded by medieval walls. Walking through Causeway feels like stepping into the Middle Ages. Stone streets, ancient buildings, and defensive walls still remain almost perfectly preserved. Nearby stands one of the small houses in Britain, squeezed tightly between larger buildings along the harbor. But Wales doesn't stop with castles. Its coastline is equally spectacular. The Pembrokeshire coast stretches for more than 180 kilometers along cliffs, beaches, and hidden coves. Powerful Atlantic waves crash against the rocks while seabirds circle above the ocean. Some beaches here are regularly ranked among the most beautiful in the world. And hidden along the coast are colorful seaside towns like Tenby. Tenby is famous for its pastel-colored houses overlooking the harbor. Surrounded by medieval walls and sandy beaches, the town feels peaceful and timeless. At low tide, visitors can walk towards St. Catherine's Island, a small rocky island crowned by an old fortress. But Wales also hides landscapes that feel almost prehistoric. The Brecon Beacons National Park is filled with rolling hills, waterfalls, caves, and open wilderness. At night, the skies become incredibly dark, making it one of the best stargazing locations in the United Kingdom. On clear nights, the Milky Way stretches brightly across the sky. And during the day, hiking trails lead visitors through forests, valleys, and dramatic mountain scenery. But after the wild beauty of Wales, we return to England for cities filled with history, innovation, and culture. Oxford is one of the oldest university cities in the world. For more than 900 years, students have studied inside its historic colleges and libraries. The city's Gothic architecture, stone courtyards, and famous towers create an atmosphere unlike anywhere else. Inside the Bodleian Library are millions of books and manuscripts collected over centuries. Oxford has shaped writers, scientists, leaders, and Nobel Prize winners, and its architecture even inspired scenes from the Harry Potter films. But Oxford has one historic rival: Cambridge. Built along the River Cam, Cambridge combines beautiful college buildings with peaceful green spaces and famous bridges. King's College Chapel stands at the center of the city, with one of the finest examples of Gothic architecture in Europe. Cambridge also became one of the world's leading centers for science and technology. Groundbreaking discoveries connected to physics, mathematics, and DNA research were made here. But despite its global influence, the city still feels calm and traditional. And next, we head to a city that changed music forever. Liverpool is a city shaped by music, history, and the sea. For centuries, its port connected Britain to the rest of the world. But in the 1960s, Liverpool became globally famous for another reason: the Beatles. The legendary band began their journey here at the Cavern Club, transforming the city into one of the most important musical destinations on Earth. Today, visitors from around the world come to explore Beatles landmarks, museums, and historic streets connected to the band's story. But Liverpool is more than music. Its waterfront, museums, galleries, and modern architecture continue to reinvent the city while preserving its history. And from Liverpool, we travel to another city that helped shape the modern world. Manchester became one of the most important cities during the Industrial Revolution. Factories, canals, and railways transformed into a center of industry and innovation. Today, the city mixes historic buildings with modern skyscrapers, art districts, and one of the strongest football cultures in the world. Old Trafford and the Etihad Stadium attract millions of fans every season. Meanwhile, the northern quarter fills the city with street art, independent cafes, music venues, and creative energy. Manchester constantly evolves while keeping its powerful identity. But now we leave the modern cities behind and travel back into medieval England. York feels like a city frozen in time. Roman walls still surround its historic center, while narrow medieval streets lead visitors through centuries of history. At the heart of the city stands York Minster, one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in Europe. Its stained glass windows and towering architecture dominate the skyline. Nearby lies the Shambles, one of the best preserved medieval streets in the world. The narrow buildings lean toward each other above stone pathways lined with small shops and cafes. Walking through York feels like stepping into another century. But England also hides villages where time seems to have completely stopped. Castle Combe is often called one of the prettiest villages in England. Stone archways, narrow roads, and small bridges create a landscape that looks untouched for hundreds of years. Modern buildings are almost completely absent. That's why many films and television productions use the village as a historical backdrop. Another famous village is Bibury in the Cotswolds. Its honey-colored cottages and peaceful river became symbols of the English countryside. The village is especially known for Arlington Row, a line of historic stone cottages dating back centuries. Everything here feels quiet, calm, and timeless. But after peaceful villages and historic cities, we head towards one of the strangest coastlines on Earth. The Jurassic Coast stretches across southern England for nearly 100 miles. Its cliffs reveal layers of Earth's history dating back more than 185 million years. Fossils from dinosaurs and ancient sea creatures continue to be discovered along the coastline. Every rock formation tells part of the story of our planet. Massive arches, cliffs, and beaches shaped by erosion create one of the most dramatic natural landscapes in Britain. UNESCO recognized the coastline as a World Heritage Site because of its geological importance. But the next, and more like a fantasy kingdom beside the ocean, Cornwall sits at the southwestern edge of England, where cliffs rise above the Atlantic Ocean. Fishing villages, hidden beaches, and dramatic coastal scenery make the region one of the most beautiful in the country. Legends connected to King Arthur surround places like Tintagel Castle, built high above the sea on rugged cliffs. Cornwall is also home to the Eden Project, giant biodomes containing plants and ecosystems from around the world. And despite being part of England, Cornwall has its own strong cultural identity and traditions. But our journey through the United Kingdom still isn't over, because next we head back into Scotland for one final collection of landscapes that look almost unreal. Scotland contains some of the wildest landscapes in the entire United Kingdom, and few places show that better than the Cairngorms National Park. This massive protected region is filled with mountains, forests, rivers, and open wilderness stretching across the Highlands. It is the largest national park in the UK. Rare wildlife still survives here, including red squirrels, golden eagles, wildcats, and reindeer that were reintroduced to the region decades ago. During winter, snow covers the mountains and transforms the landscape of Folkestone into one of the coldest and most remote environments in Britain. Found in the mountains, Loch Lomond is one of the country's most famous lakes. Surrounded by forests and rolling hills, the loch contains dozens of islands scattered across its surface. For generations, artists, musicians, and travelers have celebrated its beauty. The lake also marks the boundary between the Scottish Highlands and Lowlands, making it an important symbol in Scottish history and culture. And hidden farther west lies another unique Scottish island. The Isle of Islay is known around the world for whiskey production. Despite its small population, the island contains famous distilleries producing some of Scotland's most recognizable whiskey brands. The smoky flavor of Islay whiskey comes from peat, a natural fuel used during the production process. But beyond whiskey, the island is also known for rugged coastlines, wildlife, and peaceful landscapes. Every winter, thousands of migratory birds arrive here from the Arctic. But our journey now takes us back south into Wales one final time. Llandudno became one of Britain's most famous seaside resorts during the Victorian era. Its long promenade, historic pier, and beaches continue attracting visitors today. The town sits between two large limestone headlands called the Great Orme and the Little Orme. From the top of the Great Orme, visitors can see across the coastline and out into the Irish Sea. The town is also connected to the story of Alice in Wonderland because Alice Liddell, the inspiration behind the famous voice, spent time here as a child. And finally, we arrive at one of the most beautiful coastal regions in Wales. The Gower Peninsula was the first place in the UK officially named an area of outstanding natural beauty. Golden beaches, cliffs, sand dunes, and powerful Atlantic waves define the landscape. Rosslea Bay is often ranked among the best beaches in the world. At sunset, the coastline glows with incredible colors, while waves crash against the rocks below. The scenery feels peaceful, wild, and untouched. And after traveling across Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, one thing becomes clear. The United Kingdom is far more than castles, rain, and famous cities. It is a land of ancient history, dramatic landscapes, deep traditions, and places that feel almost unreal. From mysterious lakes and volcanic mountains to medieval villages and coastlines shaped over millions of years. Every part of the UK tells a different story. And no matter how many photos or videos you see, nothing compares to experiencing these places in real life. So, which destination amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe for more incredible journeys around the world. Because the next adventure will be even more unbelievable.